Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Jess De Los Santos. Prices are already starting to climb now that the 2-month price cap on pork and chicken has been lifted. To address this, the Agriculture Department is imposing suggested retail prices on imported pork starting today. Now, to give us more details, we have Shaila Francisco. She's reporting live from Quezon City. Shaila, tell us more about this SRP and what prices should we be expecting?
Last starting today, there will be for imported pork, that's 270 pesos for imported active and 350 pesos a kilo for imported Liampo. So far, in all the markets that we've been to, all the retailers are complying with the SRP for imported pork. Some are even selling lower than the imposed SRP. Yes?
Now, do we also have updates on the prices of local pork and how much of an increase are we seeing so far, especially, of course, given the lifting of the price cap?
Just as of now, we can't determine how much it will increase, but starting this week, prices have been increasing. We're seeing local pork prices reaching as much as 400 pesos a kilo. According to retailers, they are seeing price increases more often this week, and it will continue until the next few weeks. Jess?
Now, Shaila, should we be expecting more imported pork supplies coming in, or nagsimula na ba as early as now?
Yes, just in some markets, we've seen a lot of imported pork being sold in wet markets. According to the traders that we talk, if the prices of local pork keep increasing, they might be forced to buy only imported and sell it to the market. So there may be an increase, or imported pork will dominate the market soon enough. Jess?
Okay, Shaila, so farmer groups warn that more pork imports would hurt the local industry in the long run. What safeguards are being implemented by the Agriculture Department, considering earlier recommendations to increase MAV and to slash tariffs?
Just earlier during the last time, the Agriculture Secretary William Barr assures the public that only the deficiency will be reported by our importers. As for the local producers and local producers, they have financing program. There's also this transport assistance that will be given to hog raisers and breeders, even if the price cap is lifted, so that they can bring in more supply or cheaper supply of local pork in Metro Manila. The insurance or indemnity for those hogs, those raisers, these hogs were called rather, was increased. So there are a lot of incentives already given to them to encourage them to repopulate and report any ASF incidents in their areas. Jess?
So more about that assistance. So what's the status on that one, especially for hog raisers and producers amid, of course, the ASF outbreak?
Just we're hearing from local producers and hog raisers that they have yet to receive the transport assistance. But according to the DA, that they've given already some transport assistance to those who brought in cheaper pork from their provinces to the Metro Manila. They intend to finish or to reimburse all the raisers and breeders as soon as possible. Jess?
All right, thank you very much for those updates. Ingat kayo dyan. You seem to be in a really busy street in Muñoz. Maraming salamat, Shaila Francisco, reporting live from Quezon City. The IATF is set to decide tomorrow on the possible extension of the enhanced community quarantine in the NCR Plus bubble. But is another extension necessary? Now, to weigh in on this, we have with us Dr. Ria Fajardo of the Health Professionals Alliance Against COVID-19. Good morning, Doc.
Hi, good morning, Jess.
All right, so Doc, what's your assessment of the 2-week ECQ? Did it serve its purpose?
Yes, Jess, I think it did serve its purpose, but it seems like we probably need another extension. As we see today, the total number of cases that were added were 6,009 as of April 8, 2021. This is based on the DOH data, and we see that also the reproduction number or the COVID-19's capacity to spread is still at 1.16 around 2 weeks ago. So this means that we have not yet reached the goal of less than one, meaning for every COVID confirmed patient, we still have they still have the capacity to spread to another person or more than one person.
Now, Doc, the question is, when do you see us getting there? And by your call for another extension, by how long?
So I think, Jess, this will still have to be evaluated probably in another week or two because we really want to take this, week by week, day by day, analyzing the effectiveness of this ECQ with regards to lowering the transmission, stopping the transmission of COVID-19 between patients. And as the DOH also mentioned, the effectivity of the lockdown or of the ECQ, we will not be seeing the effectiveness maybe in another 3 to 4 weeks. So I think with the hospitals right now being in full capacity, especially in NCR and the surrounding provinces, the healthcare workers already being overworked, burned out, and also getting infected themselves, we really need to give more time for the capacity of the healthcare system in the Philippines to be able to recover and recuperate and be able to continue the services to take care of our COVID-19 patients and even our non-COVID patients. We really need a little bit more time. As of today, this is my personal analysis.
Okay, do you think additional restrictions are necessary based on your assessment, or should we just carry on with the current set of guidelines or restrictions?
Yes, Jeff. Actually, with the current set of standards, the minimum public health standards set by the Department of Health and our different advocacies like the Apat Dapat advocacy of HPAC, we just simply have to follow these protocols and guidelines. I believe what happened in the past, just before the surge, is that everybody loosened up their compliance to these standards and protocols. And of course, putting in the factors that there are so many variants going around, this surge just hit us very badly,
Last question before I let you go. Are you amenable at least to an MECQ instead of an ECQ extension? Because there are some officials or there are some coroners that is actually proposing instead to lower the restrictions at least to MECQ.
The MECQ would mean loosening up again. Personally, I am against it. Pasensya na po. Yes, that is my personal opinion po.
Okay, thank you very much for your time this morning. Again, that was Dr. Ria Fajardo of the Health Professionals Alliance Against COVID-19. Thank you, ma'am. PARAÑAQUE Mayor and Metro Manila Council Chair Edwin Olivares said he is in favor of reverting to the more lenient modified enhanced community quarantine next week. Olivares said in an interview that he is open to easing quarantine restrictions in PARAÑAQUE as COVID-19 cases have not increased in the city over the past week. The PARAÑAQUE mayor cited data from their local epidemiology and disease surveillance unit and the city's health office. The IATF will meet with mayors from Metro Manila and nearby provinces under ECQ to hear their recommendations on the quarantine status for the NCR Plus bubble. A survey from the Tourism Department shows that more people want to travel to preserve their sanity. However, numerous travel requirements are discouraging people from turning that into a reality. Speaking with Cito Beltran on One News's agenda, Tourism Secretary Berna Puyat said they have made the process of traveling during the pandemic easier by removing several requirements. However, Puyat said that they only want foreign tourists to come in when the time is right.
May travel naman ngayon, but it's all essential. But we have to already prepare, di ba? We have to already be there. I always say naman when people are asking me, do you want foreigners to come in? Well, at this, we want the foreigners, the tourists to come in when the time is right. But we already have to prepare. Hindi naman pwede yung papasok na yung mga turista tapos hindi natin alam ang gagawin natin. Di ba, Sito? Yung, hindi naman yung big defensive palagi. So IATA, that 82% of all the airlines are with IATA, ang maganda naman yung gusto nila, it's travel facilitation. Then, you know what I asked pa? Nako, baka may privacy yan, issue sa privacy. They don't keep it, they only need it for that particular time para madalian yung traveler. And then they don't keep anything. It's more of ease to facilitate travel. But, gano'n naman the DOT, we always want. I was listening to Congressman Ronnie Ong and pareho kaming we want kasi travel to be easier.
President Rodrigo Duterte praised heroes of the past and the present in his message to Filipinos during the commemoration of the Day of Valor. Duterte said that the valor of our forebearers has left an indelible mark in our history and shaped our indomitable spirit to rise each time we fall. The president adds that the selflessness and dedication of our frontliners reflect the heroism of Bataan warriors who continue to inspire patriotism and solidarity during these times. On the other hand, Vice President Leni Robredo tells us to emulate our heroes' love for others and willingness to sacrifice themselves for the betterment of all. Robredo also reminds us that no Filipino should be forced to be brave alone. The Vice President says we should all work together to triumph over the challenges we face today. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 1 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. I'm Jess De Los Santos. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.